Hey guys, if you don't know, my name is Jessie and I'm the Dirt Bike Girl. And today I want to talk about why I think the KLX 140 is the best first time bike for women, adults, teenagers, everybody actually. I think it's just a wonderful all around first time bike. And here are my reasons why. There's Crash, she's helping me today. All right, so as you guys might know, we have a lot of bikes. A lot of bikes, guys. The reason we have so many bikes is because we have a small dirt bike school, and we teach people who have never touched a dirt bike before how to ride a dirt bike in 1 or 2 days. So we have to have a wide selection of bikes for them to ride. And that means that when I started this journey where I wanted to really become a dirt bike rider a year ago, I had a huge selection of bikes to choose from. And I tried them all to find the perfect one for me. What was going to make me feel comfy and happy and confident and help me grow as a rider. And the one I picked was this, the KLX 140L. This is a wonderful bike for lots of reasons, and we're gonna get into it. Number one reason I love this bike, there's a huge selection, and it's a really well thought out selection. So we have 3 of them. Here they are. We have, starting on this side, the KLX 140 small wheel. This bike is so versatile. I start 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, all the way up to short adults on this bike. I love it, and it's just a great bike to start people on. Then we have the L, which has a little bit of a larger wheel, and you can see that kind of from the side. The wheel's a little bit larger. The seat height isn't that much of a difference, but it's a little bit. If you're a little bit taller, there's the bike for you. And then again, you're a little taller, this is the G, and this is an awesome bike for women. Okay, it's got full-size tires. The seat height is almost the same as a 230. I think it's just slightly shorter. It's got 10 inches of travel on the shocks. But what's great about this, as opposed to the 230, is it's narrower. So for us women with short legs, the 230 makes our legs kind of stick out further, and it's harder to get our feet flat on the ground. Here's a 230 right here. And I was intimidated by this 230 for the longest time because I could only get 1 foot on the ground. But no problem with the G. And if you don't know, you want to go with larger tires. Larger tires are easier to ride. So this is the best bike to start people on. Here's some other things I love about it. Disc brakes, front and back. I didn't appreciate that in the very beginning, but I really appreciate it now. Other things I love about it is underpowered. Doesn't mean that it won't get up and go, and doesn't mean that I'm not fast on it, as you'll see in a minute. But when I make a mistake, it isn't as detrimental as on my KTM 150. Things I'm not crazy about on this bike is the suspension. I'm sure I could make it better if I wanted to put the time and money into it, but it's definitely not the best suspension. It will do in the beginning. There is nothing wrong with this until you get more aggressive. I never noticed anything about the suspension until I was a year into my riding, and I started riding the 140 again, and then the suspension felt awful. Otherwise, all the way around, a great bike, and let's go watch some footage of me riding it. Okay guys, that's me, and I am hopping on the 140L, and I wanted you guys to see that. I am 5'2", between 120 and 130 pounds. My weight fluctuates a lot. This bike's just a tiny bit small. The G fits me a little bit better, but I find that I have a ton of fun on this bike. I can kind of get thrown around and use my body weight to actually get the bike back under control and kind of throw it around some which I can't do on the KTM. I just don't weigh enough to. It's 100 pounds more than me. And it's so, I just can't. I can't use my body weight that well. But this, I can. So you can see me on it. I can get both feet comfortably on the ground. Anyways, let's get to the trail riding. Roger is following me. He's on the 200. I've now done this a couple times. Had a couple people kind of chase me around on their KTMs. They have no problem keeping up, but I feel like they always say they're kind of pushing it, where I feel like I'm riding at a pretty comfortable pace for me. I'm not pushing it on this bike. I'm not going full out as fast as I can go. I'm still kind of pulling away from them. That being said, the places where I have trouble, where they catch up real fast, is in the corners and any rough sections. If it's a real rough section, a lot of roots or anything like that, the suspension is just not there. I have to sit down, and they immediately catch up. And right here, I'm going to stall out because I'm in 4th gear. So you can tell I'm just having a lot of fun on this bike, and I absolutely love it. If you have one, if you buy one for your first bike, and then you're ready to move on, I highly recommend that you keep it. When I'm starting off with something new and I'm not feeling real confident, I'll hop on one of these bikes first, try it there, build up my confidence, and then move up to my 150. So I think it's a great bike to have around if you have the ability to keep a second bike. Some people can't, and that's fine. You know, if you can hop on a buddy's and try it first, whatever the deal is. So this is tighter woods we're about to go into. And that's where I really felt like I shined on this bike. It was so easy in the tight woods. And again, I can really use my weight on this bike to really help me when I'm standing. Can't so much when I'm sitting. And there's a lot of roots in this section. And you'll see right now I'm pulling away. I'm in tight stuff. It's easy for me. As soon as I hit a rough section, Roger catches right back up. So, and that's kind of the way it goes. I start to pull away a little bit. I start getting a little distance through this stuff right here. This is where it's real tight and windy, and I'm just finding it real easy. Because the bike's narrower, it's lighter, it's easier for me to control. I don't know that it's lighter than my KTM, but it's definitely smaller, and I can use my body more. And you can see me really using my body more. And things like that just catch Roger up, and then I'm gone. But then I hit this rough stuff right here where the suspension's not as good, and he catches right back up. I also find that this bike is an absolute blast on the flat track. And again, I feel really confident on it, so I've been using this to practice my hard braking, coming in really fast and braking. Just because I have a little more confidence on it. I did come in really fast, 4th gear, wide open into a turn, hard braking, lean this bike, slam over, and was getting back on the gas. And I was leaned over so far, I actually caught the foot peg on the ground and went crashing down. But it wasn't a bad crash. Like everything, I didn't get hurt. I didn't even really feel scared or anything in the crash. So, and I totally went back and did it again. It didn't scare me at all. So, it's just been a great confidence builder for me, where I just don't have that confidence on the KTM. You hear my dog's playing with a toy right now. She's ready for us to go. But going up and down these hills, same thing. The only other thing I find about this bike that's a problem is the clearance. Sorry, it's raining today and Maggie is real bored. But back to the clearance. The issue I have is I catch on lots of stuff on the bottom. I miss the clearance on the KTM so much. I didn't go down the steep hill with this because the other day I got the foot pegs caught on the sides of the hill because there's a rut and I had to get picked up from behind. So that is a problem. That is an issue. But of course, with us short people, we always have that problem. It's either we can get our feet down or we have clearance. When I do run into clearance issues, though, it doesn't feel like that big of a deal. Again, I can get thrown around on this bike, and it doesn't scare me. And I can actually then learn to use my weight to counter it. And so, and if everything else goes really bad, I can at least get my feet down and catch myself. So it's building a lot of confidence for me, and that training is translating over to my KTM for sure. The G, I think has just a tiny more clearance. It's definitely got bigger wheels. And guys, bigger wheels, if you're on the fence, you're not really sure, you feel comfortable on the G, you feel comfortable on the L, go with the bigger wheels. The bigger wheels help you every time. That's the biggest reason I went up to the KTM, is the suspension, and the bigger wheels just cover the ground, go over stuff so much easier. You don't get thrown around as much. So the bigger wheels are definitely the way to go. But if you're looking to have a little more fun, kind of get thrown around and all of that, well, I kind of like the L. Again, depends on your height and everything else and where you're comfortable. But the great thing about this bike, again, is that they have so many options. Go and sit on them. Figure out what works. If you're still really unsure, remember, we have a school. You can come try them at our school and figure out what works for you. And I have a lot of people who start out on one bike smaller, and halfway through the day, they're ready to move up to the taller bike. They've built that confidence, and they're ready. I think it's a great way to build some confidence. Come take the school. You'd be amazed at what you can do in a couple of hours with the right type of coaching. So I know this video is already really long, and there's just one last place I wanted to show you guys. So I headed over to the Off-camber trail with this. It's a short little trail, real quick, off-camber. And there's a lot of roots and little pipes and all sorts of little stuff. And I've been having a hard time with my KTM going through there because I have to put my weak leg down. That's the high side. And I've just been slow going through there. I've really been working on it, but I wanted to try it on the 140 and see what happened. So here we go, going across, and this is off-camber right here. And I'm heading on through, and I'm gone. I'm feeling confident. There's a part up here, this root section right here, where usually I get stuck. And I just kept on going. No problem. And that's right there where Roger's at. That's where I usually get stuck, just like he did. He just didn't have momentum because I got slowed down through there. Of course, it's a rough section, so it is hard with the suspension lacking. I'm sure I can get another suspension put on this if I wanted to. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know. Do you have a 140? Have you tried a 140? What was your first ever bike? Comment below, like, do all the buttons, guys. Thank you so much. And remember, if you're having a bad day, find yourself a squeaky toy and get squeaking. Just kidding. It's only one down and the rest is up. You guys have a great day.